here on A&E.
If wealth and power were to take the form of a car, that car would be a Bentley. Please join us as we go behind closed doors and behind the wheel of the world's most expensive and exclusive automobile.
This English import is the ultimate status symbol on 4 wheels with a price tag to match. The basic model will run you $250,000. For that, you'll get an engine with enough power to launch a 3-ton rocket, a luxurious interior made with old-world craftsmanship, and a classic body design that is the epitome of British elegance. What all this equals is prestige.
Who buys a Bentley? Describe your customer.
I think it's clients who appreciate really great machinery, custom-made equipment, anything that has a lot of handmade qualities.
So a person who owns a Bentley may just as well own a Gulfstream jet or a Learjet.
Absolutely, and a beautiful boat and wonderful watches.
The average Bentley owner has a net worth of $19 million.
Do people tend to finance a Bentley or do they just pay cash?
Probably half finance and half just write a check.
People just come in and write a check
Just
for
write a check.
$300,000-$400,000?
Well, they say we start closer to $225,000, so.
Bentley owners include a number of celebrities, from Shaquille O'Neal to Ralph Lauren. Only 700 Bentleys are imported to the U.S. each year. Here at the Bentley dealership in Greenwich, Connecticut, they sell around 30 a year.
Now, do some of your customers own more than one Bentley?
I have some customers that have 7, 8, 9.
So quite often they keep their Bentleys and keep ordering new ones?
Yep. They get very attached to their cars, and they even name their cars. Like you would name a dog or a cat.
Or a child?
Yep.
They name their cars. You gotta know some of the names. What are they?
One is Maggie, because that's the color of the car is magnolia.
So then does someone call in and say, Maggie needs to come in for a tune-up?
Right. So I have to get to know what their nicknames are.
You can buy a Bentley off the lot from the dealer, but if you want the ultimate car made to your exact specifications,
You can go to Crewe, England, 3 hours north of London and the home of Bentley motor cars. This 64-acre factory is where Bentleys and Rolls-Royces have been built since 1946. Bentleys have actually been around since 1921, when founder W.O. Bentley came out with his first model, a race car called the Silent Sports Car. Bentley was sold to Rolls-Royce in 1930. It stayed that way until 1998, when Bentley was bought by the makers of the Bug, Volkswagen. Although it's owned by a German company, once you step inside the factory, there is a distinctly British atmosphere.
Good morning. Welcome to Crewe and welcome to Bentley Motorcars.
The first thing you notice behind these closed doors is that there are no massive assembly lines. Bentley makes only 1,500 cars a year. To put that in perspective, General Motors produces nearly 3 million cars a year.
Most of the motor cars, in terms of competitors, are very, very, very capable products in their own right. But you don't get that sense of occasion that you get with a Bentley, that sheer delight.
Bentley prides itself on having the slowest assembly line in the world. That's because much of the work here is done the old-fashioned way, by hand. Each Bentley is custom-made, from paint to leather to wood. Whatever the client wants, they will accommodate. Every Bentley starts with a bare white metal frame, the painting of which requires 120 separate processes and can take up to 8 days. As for colors, the only limit is the buyer's imagination.
We've had situations before where somebody's brought in maybe a bottle top or something from a perfume bottle. It's a particular shade of a colour, and we will be challenged to match it. And of course, the customer will keep an exact replica of the same bottle top, so when the car is delivered they can hold it up to the car and see if it matches, and we've not been beaten yet.
When the paint job is finished, every car is examined under high-intensity lights for any imperfections before a 10-hour marathon of sanding and polishing. That same meticulous attention to detail can also be seen in the wood paneling inside every Bentley. It takes about 13 days to produce the veneer interior because it's pieced together like a puzzle, creating what they call a mirror image effect.
So if you were in the vehicle now, this would be where the passenger is, and this is where the driver is. And you can see that the mirror images are identical. As you sit in the vehicle, the left-hand side matches the right-hand side perfectly.
The upholstery in a Bentley can also be customized. These craftsmen will use about 550 square feet of leather for each car's interior. It can take up to 15 hours just to put the leather on a single steering wheel because they're all sewn by hand.
They're very impressive, aren't they, once they're finished? And I don't think you really appreciate until they are finished how well they look. Because at the moment they look pieces of leather onto wheels, but when they actually come and finish, I think they're a nice looking job.
Just 30% of those steering wheels will be installed on the right side of the car for their British customers. The remainder will end up on the left side for American and other international clients. The heart of any vehicle is the engine. The first thing you notice about this one is it's big, and so is the cost, $25,000. That's more than the cost of the average American car. Bentley builds the most powerful motor of any car you can buy off the lot. Its 6.75-liter turbocharged V8 engine has 400 horsepower.
This is like a rocket ship.
It's like a rocket ship. It goes 0 to 60 in approximately 6 seconds, which is really fast for a car that weighs over 6,000 pounds.
It's a very nimble motor car. It may be very heavy, but it's hugely powerful, and it can get you out of trouble just as quick as it can get you into trouble.
The standard Bentley comes loaded, including a satellite navigation system. But if you want an entertainment center on wheels, you can add a TV, DVD player, refrigerator, and bar. They will also accommodate any number of security requests.
We can fit that right up to bulletproof and bomb-proof protection on the whole motor car, so it can be almost an armored car.
All these special add-ons can double or even triple the cost of the car. After the vehicle is assembled, each one goes through numerous tests that simulate a variety of road conditions. Every single Bentley is then taken for an individual test drive on the roads around the factory. Once they pass, they're ready to go. Only 8 cars are completed every day. Some are delivered directly to their new owners. The remainder go to the Bentley dealers in more than 80 countries around the world. All come with a few additional special touches that I wanted to see for myself.
All right, I want to just check out the trunk, okay, Beverly?
Absolutely.
Because this is one of the interesting options. Umbrellas, Bentley umbrellas. I saw them listed at $225.
That's right.
Now, something else that is different from most trunks, am I doing this right?
Yep.
Is a pair of white gloves in case you have to change your tire. You don't want to get oil or dirt on your hands. Very nice touch.
Armed with the knowledge of what goes into every Bentley, I was ready to take one for a test drive on the open road. This model is called the Azure. My first impression was that I was driving a luxurious armored tank. It's a heavy car, but when I stepped on the gas, it felt like I was behind the wheel of a race car. When we come back, we get a sneak preview of a car built for a queen. And it's a special driver's ed class for Bentley chauffeurs.
The Behind Closed Doors will continue in a moment here on A&E. Behind Closed Doors with Joan Lunden continues here on A&E.
Most owners buy a Bentley because they can't wait to get behind the wheel. But then there are some who are just along for the ride. Thank you.
At Bentley headquarters in Crewe, England, there's a long-standing tradition. Behind Closed Doors is an academy for chauffeurs, which opened its doors in 1922.
My name's Steve Tomlinson. I'm going to be your instructor for the week.
Students come here from all over the world to learn the fine art of being a chauffeur.
It's a lot different to just driving a car. You need to know the personal requirements of the people that you're driving. You need to understand the comfort levels of driving people long distances. There's a lot more on your mind as you're driving along. It's not just trying to get from A to B.
Class size is kept small to allow for personalized training. The week-long course covers everything from proper appearance.
If the boss decides that he wants you to wear the flying trousers and the boots and the big gauntlets and whatever else, then that's your uniform, that's what you're going to have to wear. But otherwise, it would just be a dark grey suit, white shirt, dark tie.
To personal hygiene.
Try to use unscented deodorants, which will not overpower the scents and perfumes worn by our guests.
To the right way to hold the steering wheel, to the correct way to open the door.
Try not to look inside the car, Mal. Let the guests out.
Chauffeurs are also expected to know the basic maintenance of a Bentley.
You're looking at $60,000 worth of damage if you put the wrong oil in the wrong reservoir.
Finally, it's time to get behind the wheel. Out on the driving course, students learn skid control and the special handling needed for a 3-ton four-door sedan.
What we teach here is manoeuvrability, so that people understand the width of the car, the length of the car, how much room you need to manoeuvre the vehicle. It's a good safety lesson. Now, as you're coming through here, John, I want you to be no more than 6 inches away from this forward pole. Now, if you stop there, yeah, the pole's there, okay? That's the sort of distance you want to be getting. Now the easy bit, we're going to reverse all the way back through.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay? So you just keep...
Knowing how to get in and out of tight spaces in one of these cars could save thousands of dollars in paint and body repair.
Check the left-hand pole that we're not going to catch that one.
Then, the chauffeurs in training take a Bentley out on the road, where they receive extensive driving lessons to get rid of any bad habits.
What we're going to do now is a nice, comfortable stop, so we're not going forward like nodding dogs, yeah? So just as we're about to stop, just ease off the brakes. Just a little bit, yeah? And it'll stop that lurch forward that we get, yeah?
Stop that bouncing.
That's it, yeah.
But different situations call for different measures, like what to do when the boss asks you to floor it.
If he's a good boss, he pays the ticket, but a good chauffeur will make the boss think he's going fast without actually going fast. You're not drivers anymore, you're now chauffeurs. So remember, you never stop learning. Well done. Thank you very much.
Upon graduation, these students are now ready to drive the rich and famous in style. Many of these chauffeurs will be driving the top-of-the-line Bentley limousines, some of which cost more than $1 million.
But under the influence of their Volkswagen owners, Bentley is developing their version of an economy model, the MSB, starting at a mere $150,000.
We were permitted to see drawings of the new mid-size car, which will bring Bentley into the realm of what they consider mass production, 8,000 cars a year.
We are entering basically in competition with Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar, and American brands, of course, as well, which are in a higher luxury sector.
The MSB is expected to be in showrooms by the year 2003. At the other end of the price spectrum, Bentley has been commissioned to design the new official car for Queen Elizabeth in celebration of the 50th anniversary of her reign.
The project we're doing for the Queen, I would see as the ultimate project a designer could possibly do for one of the wealthiest people in the world.
Bentley executives went to the palace to meet with Her Majesty to get her thoughts on the design for the new royal limousine.
She knows her motor cars. You know, she learnt to drive during the Second World War and drove ambulances. She's a very good driver.
While the prototype was still under wraps, designer Dirk van Brockel gave us exclusive access to the initial concepts and drawings.
I can only show it in covered form, but I've brought a drawing along here, which is actually more revealing of what the motor car actually looks like. This is the very first time that we actually reveal this image as well as the model.
Believe me, the factory is really buzzing. It's buzzing at the moment because it's great that our Queen is going to take one of our cars. It's fantastic.
From car enthusiasts to heads of state, a Bentley means different things to different people. For some, it's the craftsmanship of the artisans who build it. For others, it's the prestige. But whether you're in the front seat or back, it's a set of wheels you'll never forget.
I'd like to extend my personal thanks to all those who helped us gain unprecedented access to make this show possible. Please join us next time when once again we go behind closed doors. For A&E, I'm Joan Lunden.